think you'll like what you see.
For Turner Classic Movies, I'm Michael Douglas.
In his climb to the top, unscrupulous movie producer Kirk Douglas uses everyone around him in the bad and the beautiful. Thursday at 7:45 a.m., only on Turner Classic Movies.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Edmund O'Brien is our star of the night, the talented and often underrated Edmund O'Brien. He's one of those actors who never stop working, and you never knew if he'd turn up working with Marlon Brando or Charles Laughton or maybe Tommy Sands, or co-starring in a classic like The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance or a little throwaway Western like Cow Country. But one thing about him was very consistent. Edmund O'Brien was always terrific. One area in which he was particularly good was film noir. His first encounter with that genre was the original 1946 version of The Killers. And then came movies like The Web and The Man in the Dark, and our last film, 7-Eleven Ocean Drive. But probably his best, and the one that made him the biggest impact, is our next film, which is called D.O.A., released in 1950. Those initials, of course, stand for Dead on Arrival. And this has the unusual premise of being about a California accountant who learns he has just hours to live. And in what time he has left, he tries to track down the man or woman who's murdered him. This is one of those movies that grabs you right from the very start and never lets go. The movie was no big deal at all when it was made, but it's now a prime favorite with film fans. Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan liked it so much that they remade it in 1988 under the same title, D.O.A. But our version, by far the best. A thriller that broke the cardinal rule of storytelling in the 1950s, which said that after the hero solves the mystery, he lives on to fight another day. Not necessarily. Here is Edmund O'Brien with a cast that includes Pamela Britton, Luther Adler, and Neville Brand. We bring you D.O.A. This film was directed by a Polish-born filmmaker named Rudolf Maté, who'd earned a solid spot in movie history before he ever sat in a director's chair. Back in the 1920s, he was a cinematographer on several film classics made in Europe, working for directors like Carl Dreyer, Fritz Lang, and René Clair. Rudolf Maté didn't actually start directing until he was 49 years old, when he directed a comedy called It Had to Be You, starring Ginger Rogers and Cornel Wilde. D.O.A. was his fourth film as a director, and a year later he directed one of the first big sci-fi hits of the 1950s, When Worlds Collide, which was produced by George Pal. Up next, we continue our salute to actor Edmund O'Brien with a film that earned him Oscar Gold.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Humphrey Bogart is hypnotized by Ava Gardner's stunning beauty in The Barefoot Contessa. Then Team Underground finds Dana Andrews exposing a satanic cult in Curse of the Demon. And those around Donald Sutherland are forced to succumb to a soul-sucking new culture, an invasion of the body snatchers. Read into that what you will tonight on Turner Classic Movies.
Whatever you want, it's out there. You just have to know where to look. Look to TCM.com for the greatest movies of all time. The largest collection of classic movies on DVD and VHS, along with gift items and merchandise from the TCM archives, and special selections each month. In July, put a tune in your step, a song in your heart, and save up to 40% with TCM's July musical sale. Choose your partner and hit the dance floor with classic musicals from the Dream Factory Volume 2. The collection features 7 sensational MGM musicals new to DVD, with star-studded casts including Judy Garland, Gene Kelly, Jane Powell, and Fred Astaire. Relive the golden days of the big band era with a Benny Goodman story. Steve Allen and Donna Reed star in the swinging saga of this great jazzman's legendary career, and fall under the spell of enchanting Audrey Hepburn in the Oscar-winning musical blockbuster My Fair Lady, co-starring Rex Harrison. So swing on over to TCM.com and save up to 40% during our July musicals sale. When you're looking for the largest collection of classic movies, you know where to find them. TCM.com.
Topper from 1937 with concert and Cary Grant.
It makes death look like a cakewalk.
They still wear great clothes.
They are so well dressed.
Wonderful character actors, Roland Young, Billy Burr. I love movies with invisible people.
Just goes zip. Just a fun frolic from this world into the next.
Yeah, it's delightful. Topper.
It's one of the essentials with Robert Osborne and Carrie Fisher. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Only on Turner Classic Movies.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. We have one more Edmund O'Brien movie on the docket this evening, certainly a very important one for him because it won him the Academy Award as the Best Supporting Actor of 1954. The movie is The Barefoot Contessa from United Artists. It's a movie all about the bad and the beautiful and the motion picture business, but it's not a story which takes place in Hollywood. This one is in Europe, on the Riviera, and in fashionable spots of France, Italy, and Spain. The story is about a faded Hollywood director, played by Humphrey Bogart, who discovers a dancer in Madrid, played by Ava Gardner. He puts her in a film, and she becomes an instant star. And an unusual tragedy begins to unfold, putting several people on a road to destruction, all ending in a murder and a scandal. Warren Stevens plays a Howard Hughes-type mogul in this movie, and our man of the night, Edmund O'Brien, plays Stevens' sweaty, nervous press agent, inspired, some say, by Howard Hughes' own press agent, Johnny Meyer. This is a film written and directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz, and it's always been said it's based, at least in part, on the story of Rita Hayworth. And indeed, some of the facts do match. Rita was a girl like the Barefoot Contessa, who was a Spanish dancer, then became a giant movie star and sex symbol, and married a wealthy playboy of the European jet set. But any fusion of this movie in real life ends there, because what happens to the European aristocrat in our movie did not happen to Rita's husband, Prince Ali Khan. Quite sure about that. Here with the cast, it also includes Rossano Brazzi, Valentina Cortese, and in a role that won him the Academy Award as the Best Supporting Actor of the Year, Edmund O'Brien. Here's the story of the Barefoot Contessa.
Co-starring Rex Harrison. So swing on over to TCM.com and save up to 40% during our July musicals sale. When you're looking for the largest collection of classic movies, you know where to find them. TCM.com.
Today on Turner Classic Movies, thief-turned-detective Chester Morris runs surveillance on some sinister spies in Meet Boston Blackie. Then bigoted cavalry officer John Littell may be overcompensating for something in Comanche. And millionaire George Peppard explodes onto the film scene in The Carpetbaggers. Turner Classic Movies full of surprises today.
Hi, this is the TCM Classic Movie News Report for July, your update on today's world of entertainment for the classic movie fan. In movie theaters this month, Earth is the battleground between the famed Autobots and Decepticons in The Transformers from Paramount Pictures. Guided by executive producer and film industry magnate Steven Spielberg, this action-packed sci-fi adaptation of the massively successful franchise is sure to find auditoriums full of excited children and adoring adult fans. To learn more about filmmaker extraordinaire Steven Spielberg, tune in for the original documentary, Spielberg on Spielberg, Monday, July 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Turner Classic Movies, followed by a night of the director's most famous work. New on DVD. Return once again to the dark and seedy world of film noir with Warner Home Video's release of the Film Noir Classic Collection, Volume 4. The 5-disc set contains exciting film noir double features including Act of Violence and Mystery Street, Crime Wave and Decoy, Illegal and The Big Steal, They Live by Night and Side Street,
Come on, get out.
and Where Danger Lives and Tension. Hey, tough guy, you sure you want to miss a collection like this?
You hear me? Yeah, I hear you.
Hot off the presses, Wendy Lee's True Grace, The Life and Times of an American Princess. On the 25th anniversary of actress Grace Kelly's death, New York Times best-selling author Wendy Lee re-examines the life of an American princess. With over 100 new sources, as well as 9 of her until now undisclosed romances, Wendy Lee is able to paint a picture of a strong and wonderful woman whose star-crossed story is both tragic and inspiring, from her early childhood days in Philadelphia to becoming the Princess of Monaco. Take a journey in search of the elusive Raintree, and you might find yourself in the middle of the Raintree County Festival held in Danville, Kentucky. Shot largely on location in Danville, Raintree County introduced top stars like Elizabeth Taylor, Montgomery Clift, and Lee Marvin to the warm, welcoming town and its adoring citizens. Now, 50 years later, the people of Danville are remembering their brush with stardom with a 12-day celebration of the epic Southern love story, beginning Tuesday, July 24th. Events will include lectures, a tour of the shooting sites, screenings of the film, and an original play by Catherine Bush about the filming of Raintree County. So be sure to jump the Mason-Dixon line and check out the Raintree County Festival. And join us next month for the August report.
Topper from 1937 with Constance Bennett and Cary Grant.
It makes death look like a cakewalk.
They still wear great clothes.
They are so well dressed.
Wonderful character actors. Roland Young, Billy Burr. I love movies with invisible people.
Just goes zip. Just a fun frolic from this world into the next.
Yeah, it's delightful. Topper.
It's one of the essentials with Robert Osborne and Carrie Fisher tonight at 8. Only on Turner Classic Movies.
It's a comedy gem that will bend moviegoers in pretzel shapes. Movie Stars Parade Magazine, best comedy of the year. Luella Parsons, a rollicking, witty comedy. And look who stars in the mating season. There's John Lund and gorgeous Jean Tierney. They take care of the lovemaking.
This is what I love about marriage. Companionship.
And as for the laugh-making, meet the new comedy star that everybody's talking about, Thelma Ritter.
You think I'm just a cook? I also happen to be the mother of the groom. Only his bride don't know it yet.
Mom, have you gone stark staring nutty?
Not Mom, Ellen. Don't you see, Val? This is the answer.
I'll lock you up. The mainspring is gone.
That was Mother from the Cleveland airport. She's coming to stay with us.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
You don't know Mother. This could be the end of our marriage.
Might be worse. You could have two mother-in-laws in the house.
Now, wait a minute.
Who is he? What is he? Have you ever met his family? No, Mother, I haven't. And that's more than he can say of mine.
6 months. This party's on the cuff. Those guests are on the cuff. The whole marriage is on the cuff. Blows. There, that's better. 6 little months. So save your money and buy a tight dress. Where are you going?
Mexico, to establish residence.
All right, go. I warned you shouldn't marry a guy like me. This whole thing is just a little too low down for you.
Goodbye, Dad. Thanks for paying the rent.
Yeah, they're going into a honeymoon spin. But if you think they got troubles now, well, you see what happens when the mother of the groom tries to pull them out of it.
Hi, I'm Tom Kenny, host of Funday Night at the Movies on Turner Classic Movies, the new summertime lineup devoted to introducing classic films to kids, moms, and dads. Every Sunday night at 8 p.m. all summer long. Tomorrow night, 4 sisters growing up in the middle of the American Civil War learn to find their place in the world in the adaptation of the beloved novel, Little Women. It's Funday Night at the Movies, always commercial-free, only on Turner Classic Movies.
A life, layered in images, a storyteller's mosaic, inspired by a limitless imagination. Every frame, a window into the miraculous. Every tale unbound by the restraints of possibility. Marvels of creativity, shattering the pains of expectation. Extraordinary visions forged by the soul of an artist. Turner Classic Movies presents Spielberg on Spielberg, an original documentary by Richard Schickel. Monday at 8 p.m., followed by a night of director Steven Spielberg's most imaginative films. Always uncut and commercial-free on Turner Classic Movies.